it's Micah, and this week's video is going to be about how to become more coachable. So remember when I talked about having a mentor, how important it is. Now that you have your mentor, it's time to be coached, and it's time to get your mindset prepared to be coached. And honestly, everyone isn't coachable, or everyone doesn't go in to a situation where they want their life to change, or they want their success or their finances to change. Some people don't go in ready to be coached. But let me just tell you about my experience. So I have a mentor, and she's been my mentor roughly for almost a year. It'll be a year in July that she's been mentoring me. And I honestly can say that I've come a long way, but wow. Like, we've had a lot of ups and downs, and mostly, if not all of them, were because of me. You know, you think you're disciplined, you think you're structured, you think you follow directions, you think that you have this very detailed way of handling business, and in actuality, you don't. And so I was running into this problem where I would do something and I would think like, yeah, this is it. And then I'll get the feedback back and I'm like, nah, that wasn't it. You missed X, Y, and Z. And in this process, we always look for someone to pat us on the back and tell us, yeah, you did a great job, but that's not going to happen every time. And you shouldn't do things to get, oh, that was a good job. And so I would have tasks that I would have to complete. She would give me a week and a month of things to basically get done. Mostly I was working alongside her website, and I had certain tasks that I had to complete. Mind you, these are very tedious tasks. They were very tech savvy. Like, I had to Google a lot of things. I used a lot of programs. So it was very helpful to be a part of this. But at the same time, it wasn't what I was used to. I'm not a computer-based person. I don't sit on the computer all day. I'm a people person. I like to be socializing and working with people hand in hand, one-on-one, a team. I'm used to being around a lot of people. And this took me out of that. I was home majority of the time, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. I was working at my desk just nonstop. And so there will be things that I would miss. And she couldn't understand because she gave me a list to complete things, and she didn't understand why they weren't done. And my justification for it was, you know, it just takes so much. My internet is slow, and you gave it to me 3 days ago, and you expect me to be done, and it's a whole electronic book that I have to break down and make a presentation. Like, I just had all the excuses in the world. But time management and paying attention to detail was probably my biggest fault in being mentored and coached by her. She cut me off a couple of times. She cut me off from certain projects. She cut me off from money. She cut me off from just being a part of what was so serious to her and what I should have taken seriously. So when you're entering a situation, everything's not going to be peaches and cream. You know, there is a learning process that you have to go through, and you have to be ready, and you have to be willing to accept criticism. You have to be willing to assess yourself, look at yourself, take accountability, take full responsibility for when you messed up, because essentially it all falls on you. This person didn't ask to be your mentor. This person is taking time out of their life to make sure that you are getting the necessary steps, you are taking the necessary steps to where you say you want to go. Now, a lot of people can say they want to do certain things, but they put no action to it. They have no follow through. They have no consistency. They have no determination. But it sounds good to say, oh, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to own this and that. Oh, I want to start my own blah, blah, blah. And then the steps that follow are nowhere near where you want to go. I say all that to say, when being coached, be open-minded, be receptive. Really listen to the examples that they give you as far as, so for one, I'll say this. She told me to download something that will keep my tasks together. It was certain things that she told me to do. And although I was taking it in, I was writing it down, I'm like, yeah, I get it. There's so much information. I had no follow-through. I had no complete follow-through. So I allowed certain tasks that I did to take up more time. And so when we would have our checkups, she would be like, dude, what's going on? Like I told you last week, I told you 3 weeks ago. And she's really good at reminding me of when the date was that she actually told me, which is kind of annoying, but it's like, you know what? She told me. And so the fact that I did not follow through was where my faults were coming in. So it's not the blame game. It is self. You need to get it together. And so it literally took her cutting me off the last time for me to realize, like, I'm basically getting coached and mentored for free. And people pay thousands of dollars a month to get their lives together by a life coach, you know, and I'm taking all this information and all this time for granted. And once you sit back and realize that this is like a really good thing for you, and you're taking advantage of the situation and you're not fully putting yourself in it, then you kind of got to say, well, what do I really want? Because I'm not acting like I want it. I'm saying I do, but I really don't. So just be really mindful going into a situation like that. You need to put yourself in the mindset to be coached. Our meetings, I never took notes. I just thought this was going to help. Like, oh yeah, okay, I can remember that. Okay, I can remember that. Until she would say, well, I told you. Well, I said this. Well, I sent the email. And I'm like, oh, you did? So this became my best friend. And every meeting that we've been having, I have been writing the to-dos, the goals for the week. I make sure that I write everything down. So if you need to get some tools set in place so that you can see it visually, you get reminders on your phone, whatever your coach, your mentor tells you to do, please do it. They are not trying to be militant. They're not trying to be a dictator. They're trying to get you in the mindset of being disciplined, following through, keeping that consistency to get to where you want to go. So I hope this video helps some of you that are probably being mentored right now or are looking to get mentored, because let me tell you, it is a ride. It was an emotional roller coaster as well. Getting cut off does not feel good, you know. Being fired always sucks, even if it's not a job. But at the same time, it was a growth. It was a learning, you know, experience that I went through, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next topic that I'll be discussing. And this topic was becoming coachable. Thank you so much. See you next time.